Hello. I don't know why my camera is the way it is, but anyways, I'm still do my message here. Hello. Should have got myself together before I got on camera. But whatever. Come on in, everyone. I got a quick message for you. A quick message for you. I was thinking about this earlier, and I needed to. I said I got to do a message on this. So come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I'm gonna give you all a few minutes. Say hello to me when you come in. Just say hello. Let me close these blinds here. Just say hello to me. Come on in, say hello. Let me know who's here. But I got to give you all this message so you can know why things are the way they are with you. You know, so you can know. Hey, Betsy. So you can know why things are like the way they are, you know, so you can know why, right? And if you're a chosen one, you're going to be able to relate to this message because I've noticed it with myself. And it used to be a challenge to me before. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Anitra. Hey, cousin. So it used to be a challenge to me until I realized, until God gave me revelation of who I am. This used to be a challenge for me. And I used to try to figure out why, like I was being rejected. And, people always say, you know, you're being rejected because you reject yourself. And, they say little things, but this is the real reason chosen ones are hated, right? This is one of the real reasons we are hated. This was one of the reasons I was hated, that I am hated. People just, not saying I'm going around creating enemies, but people don't like this about us. They don't like this, what I'm about to tell you about us. They don't like it. And one thing that bring us hate is that people will assume. It's assumption. No, it's not. It's not energy, Anthony. Well, it is that too. It is that too, but it's an assumption. It's assumption that causes people to hate us because see, sometimes people will judge us based on how we look. They judge you based on your nationality, culture, right? They judge you on these things and they just assume that you are like them. They assume that you have the same thinking, what they call group think, like a group of people think a certain way. They assume because you are black, you are white, you vote a certain way, you think a certain way, you believe a certain way. And then when they get to know you and you are none of those things, they're confused. Now they want to say you think you're better. And it's not that you think you better, you just are chosen, you're set apart. You can't have the same thinking and mindset they have. You can't be racist. You can't be prejudiced. Because if you have the heart of God, you love all people. And people don't like this about the chosen ones because when they get a little, see, that's why we keep people at a distance. Because when people get a little close to us and they realize we're not like them, we don't think like them, we don't like what they like, we don't laugh at what they laugh at, right? Then it becomes this big thing. Then the energy shifts, right? You feel all the energy shifts. You feel all these different, you know, um, you feel all these different energies because they assumed that you're a Democrat. They assume that you're Republican. They assume that you, like, I'm just throwing things out there. They assume things about you that's not true. And when they find out you're nothing like them, but you look like them, you talk like them, but your thinking is different. The way you move is different. That is why you're hated. That's why people don't like you. That's why you're rejected. Your beliefs are different. You don't have cultural beliefs. You don't have religious beliefs. Your beliefs are just just different. Certain ways that there are certain ways that you think, and you can't help how you are because of the experiences that you've experienced. You can't help that. You've been trying to understand why you think and believe and do things a certain way. And it's nothing bad. It's nothing that you're doing to harm anyone. You're not doing anything to harm anyone. You just have a set of beliefs. There's just some truths that you stand on, and you're not going to bend on those. Because spiritually, to you, those are the right thing. It's the right thing to do. Spiritually, it's the right thing to do. So you're not going to let up on certain beliefs, certain ways of thinking, certain ways of being, operating, and people are going to hate you for it. They're going to hate you for it. They're going to hate you for your excellent spirit. They're going to hate you because you go over and beyond. You don't need nobody to recognize you and give you credit. You don't need anyone to watch you, tell you what to do. You take the lead and you do things because you know it's the right thing to do. You do the most. It's not because you're trying to outdo someone. It's because of the way you are. You're a chosen one. And when we work, we do our work unto God. No man has to give us credit because we know we're being watched regardless if there's a camera there or not. So that's what people don't understand about you. They don't pay me for that. You don't have to get paid in the natural, okay? But in the spirit, you're getting your pay. You're getting your pay in the spirit for having that excellent spirit. You're being blessed in the spirit. Have you ever noticed people always want you to be mediocre because they're mediocre? They want you to be mediocre because they're not putting forth their all. They're not making people miss them. Wherever you go, people are supposed to know you're gone. They're supposed to know you're no longer there because of your excellent spirit. You're supposed to be one of those people that leave a job and they're still talking about you 10 and 20 years later. The old people still there. When such and such was here, we didn't have to worry about this. When such and such was here, that's how it's supposed to be. God rewards that. He rewards that. You're supposed to be set apart. You're supposed to be one of those people when you come, they say, oh, the last person didn't do all this. And you're supposed to say, I'm not the last person. I'm a different breed. And that is where you confuse people because people like to put people in a box. People like to say, all white people this way, all black people this, all this type of person is that. People like to put folks in a box, but when it comes to the chosen one, we dismantle all of that foolishness. We dismantle all of that. People don't know where to put us, and they get mad because they can't put us nowhere. They get mad at us because they can't put us in a box. We step all outside the box. There's no box. There's no box when it comes to the chosen one. Because people think you're going right with them, and then you just go left, up, down. We just can't be put in a box. We can't be pinned down. Because people size y'all up. They look at us when it comes to the chosen ones. See, the chosen ones are mysterious people. People monitor you and watch you, waiting for you to mess up, waiting for you to slip up. Even in your slip ups, you still different. Even when you mess up, you don't react how everyone else react. When you go through things, your reactions are not like everyone else's reactions. That's why you're set apart. That's why you're different. And people don't understand that. When you go through things that are out of your control, even your responses are different. This is why they hate you all. I ain't gonna say you all. This is why they hate us. Put myself in it. This is why we're hated. And you don't know if you're a chosen one because you're gonna operate in excellence. You can't hate those who hate you. You can't do people how they do you. That's when you know you're chosen. Regardless of how awful people treat you and do you, dog you out, what we call it down here in the South. Growing up in the hood, dogging you out, which means they treat you like trash. Regardless of how people do you, you can't do them that way. Your heart is not like that. You tried that foolishness. I've tried it. Almost broke me down. It take too much energy to operate in that type of mindset and behavior. Takes too much energy. We have a heart of compassion and love. Now we're not foolish now because God waking us up now. We're not doormats anymore. But at the same time, we can't operate in that energy how everybody else operate in that hate, negativity, vengeful, beg to differ, tit for tat, clap back, all that. No, we can't operate in that. Can't operate in that. That's not who we are as chosen ones. We're not that way. We'll move out of the way before we operate in that energy. We'll just slide on out the way. Exactly. Exactly, Betsy. We'll just slide on out of your way and let you be free. We can't you can't operate in that type of energy. Mm-mm. Can't operate in that type of energy. We have a growth. We have a growth. Right? Chosen by Christ for it. I haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been? I hope everything is well with you. Yeah, they're trying to grow. I caught myself doing it myself. I know my hairdresser is going to get on me for touching my hair, but I had to do something. But we can't operate in that energy. This is what set us apart. And what really sets us apart is, or why people hate us, because we, hey Keisha, hey fam, we tend to reflect, and instead of becoming victims, we look at ourselves and see how we can improve, to see where we were, right? To see where we were, or why we stayed and did things or moved and said things or dealt with things the way we did. We do the work on ourselves. Instead of blaming, we fall back and look inward. We look inward. We don't blame, we stop blaming everybody. We don't look outward to pinpoint. We may stay there for a hot minute and then we'll come to our senses and be like, you know what? That was my fault. Like, that was my fault. I don't want to stay. I got to ask myself why I stayed. I don't want to give them that or let them have it or let them, I got to ask myself why. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. We're mysterious people. People try to figure us out. People try to figure us out and they be disappointed every time as we move differently. We move differently. People try to provoke you. Look at how people try to provoke you, right? They'll pick and provoke, and you just sit there and look like, no, that's not what you want. You're not going to rattle me because I'm in control of myself. When you're in control of yourself, right? When you're in control of yourself, you're not allowing others to move you into what they want you to do, right? They're not able to move you to do what they want you to do. Because you know you have people to try to push your buttons, and there's no buttons to be pushed when you're working on yourself. But I want to come tell you all that's why you're hated. People assume so much. They assume because you're this. They assume because you're that. They assume because you're black, you do this. Like they always want to put you in category. They always want to put you in a box. They always want to. People always want to project their mindset and ideology on you, and then when they see you're not buying into that, right? When they see you're not buying into that, they get upset because you can't be controlled. They always want to tell you who to hate, who to love, who to help. And when you're chosen, you're going to help and love who God tells you to love. You're going to do what makes your spirit feel good. And hate is not one of those things that we carry. Hate is not something we carry. We may dislike you, don't deal with you, but we're not going to hate. And people will get upset when you don't have the same mindset. You don't hate who they hate. They will get upset with you because you can't carry that. They don't understand that the way you're built, you can't carry hate. You can't hold that in you, regardless of what somebody did to you. That's why you have people that go through things and someone does something to somebody they love, they can't hold that hate. And some people like, oh, if that were me, but you're not them. You're not that person. You have to understand the person to get to understand that they can't hold that hate and why they can't hold it. Spiritual things don't make sense in the natural. That's a spiritual thing for you not to hate someone who harmed you, who harmed someone you love, who took away somebody you love. That's a spiritual thing. Naturally, it don't make sense. It's not going to never make it's never going to make sense in a natural. It's never going to make sense to you because you're thinking natural. Natural minded, carnal, what they call carnal minded. It'll never make sense to you. But spiritually, it makes sense. It takes time, but it makes sense because that's too much of a burden to carry. I saw somewhere where it says stress is the number one unaliver. I don't want to say the K word, Killer, in the lives of people. Stress, unforgiveness, because spiritually you're carrying something that you're not built to carry. Stress, taking folks out of here quicker than any other disease or any other person or mhm, stress. Mhm, stress. Holding that. I'm not going to hold anything. Mm-mm. Not built for that. Not built for that. So that's what I want to come tell you all. Assumption. People assuming. That's why you're hated as a chosen one. People assuming that you're like them because you look like them, you talk like them, you grew up in the same community they grew up in, and don't realize you've been different all your life. You pretended to be like them, but you just been an awkward, weird person. You just been weird all your life, and that's okay. You've been set apart all your life, and that's okay. You got to accept that. You got to accept your difference. You got to accept your authenticity. Accept who you are. Stop trying to hide. I used to hide all the time. I used to be hiding, trying to fit in, knowing that didn't feel good. You ever been to a place when I used to club in my clubbing days? I used to be feeling awkward, just there because that was the thing to do. Just felt out of place, just pretending like I'm having a good old time. And I'm like, I don't supposed to be here. This don't seem, what's the purpose of it? I can dance at home. I can party at home. I'm a whole party by myself. But when you don't know, you do things. You operate in certain ways when you don't know, when you don't have anybody helping you develop your gifts and your understanding, your knowledge. Most, and I said this before, and I heard someone else say this, and I've been saying this. Most spiritually gifted people are in mental institutions. I said this before, and I stand on it. I stand 10 toes down. Most gifted people are in mental institutions because they don't understand that they're gifted spiritually. And we don't talk about these things. We just want to say people are crazy. We want to call everybody crazy. We don't understand. Every one of them there are not crazy. Now, some people probably need to be there, but not everybody there. Some people are spiritually gifted and they don't understand the gift that they have. Because these churches have become so watered down, they don't believe in the power of God like that anymore. They don't believe, you know, that type of um gifted. Those people are saying they seeing things and hearing things. They don't believe that anymore. The only thing they want to believe now is cars, houses, all this material stuff. No, them people really do be seeing things. They really are seeing things. They can't explain it to people without folks saying that they're crazy. And they want to put on some meds, and they really are. I know it to be true. My mom was gifted. My mom was spiritually gifted. She experienced the same thing. She experienced being in and out of mental institutions. But what she was battling was generational, and what she was battling was a gift that she had that nobody could tell her what it was. And I only got that through revelation. I got that through God. Nobody gave me that. My mom was gifted. That's why I'm gifted. But I understand she didn't have the knowledge to understand her gifting because she was battling her gift and then she was battling generational curses. And she didn't know where to draw the line. She didn't know where the line was, where there was a line in the middle. She didn't know. But I know. I know what the curses are and I know what the gift is. Because it don't go away. If you got a parent, grandparent that were gifted, it's still in the bloodline. You still got cousins and aunties and uncles. They're gifted too. Some of them just use their gifts in the wrong way. A lot of y'all got some witches in your family. They use it in the wrong way. But I understand. And in this, you got to equip your kids so they won't be losing their mind. Because see, it's hard to go between the natural and what's spiritual. and still be present in this world without going cuckoo. It's hard to live in the natural and you just, going, you know, seeing what's spiritual and what's natural. It's hard to balance those two. you you got to be a strong individual. That's why we need God. That's why we need God. That's why we need repentance. That's why we need to have our relationship. This ain't got nothing to do with going to church. I'm not talking about going to church here, y'all. Don't hear that. Because obviously some of the churches ain't doing what they need to be. Some of the churches ain't churching how they need to be churching. There's a lot of foolishness going on out there, right? They too busy sliding and doing all kind of craziness out there. We're not getting what need to be got out there because the church is too worldly. They're not equipping people. This stuff is serious. I'm glad I got to understand it for myself. I don't need nobody to tell me. Nobody told me this stuff. I had to experience this. And I'm not saying I'm some scholar or some, guru and, I could touch people and heal. No, everybody have their own gifts. Mine is wisdom. Mine is wisdom. Gift of understanding spiritual things on the level that I've experienced it from a child by watching my mom up until now. The things that I've gone through. Things will be revealed when you spend time with God. He'll reveal things. He'll show you, and that is what going to set you apart from everybody. When He start giving you this knowledge, you're just going to be set apart, and you have to be okay with that. Sometimes it can feel like you're lonely, right? Sometimes you can feel that way, but you're not lonely. You're not alone. You just feel that way, and because you feel like you're missing out, you're not missing out. Because one thing about it, when God reveals to you your gifts and He give you an understanding, you're going to realize it's better to be alone, um, and wait for God to send you the right people than be with people who's going to corrupt you, and be around people who's going to corrupt, your gift and corrupt you. You know, and you just have to pray and ask God to, send you that person if you really want someone, like send you a confidant or, you know, an advisor or a coach or somebody, that you can talk to sometimes. But it's best to be by yourself than have someone not understand you, always getting offended, um, don't understand your gifts, always feeling insecure, and you want somebody who can really understand spiritual things without sounding like you're being weird, like you want to find some, you want to have people like that. And He'll send those people. He'll send the right people. He'll send the right people. You just have to be patient and you do the work on yourself. Let Him do the work completely on you. So when He do send those people and you're not feeling secure or you're feeling some type of way, you can talk about it. You can go to the person and talk about how you're feeling without having this big fallout, right? You want somebody mature enough where you could express, sis, I just felt like this or that when you said this. I just want to make sure, like you'll be able to be mature adults, because mature adults don't have any business falling out, being all in their feelings and falling out, you know, talking all crazy to one another. You should be able to go and discuss things with the person who you say you have a relationship with, or you say you love, or that's your friend. You shouldn't, if you feel like you're going to have a fallout, that person is not for you. That's not a true friend, a true confidant. That's not a true person to be in your circle. You shouldn't be with, in their circle. If you feel like you can't go say, you know what, sis, when you said this, I just felt like you came off as sarcastic. Are you mad about something? Did I do something? Or are you having a bad day? You know? And that should be that. Not, I think they talking about me. I think she's saying that she being shady. No, you shouldn't have all those assumptions. You should be able to go to people. You should be able to go to the person and discuss it and be okay and act as if that little misunderstanding never happened and move on and y'all continue to be good. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. That's when you know you're mature. The person is mature. Instead of being emotionally driven, a bunch of little babies just being emotionally driven by their emotions, getting upset, having tantrums. But that's what I want to come talk to you all about. Thank you all for joining me. Let me see who's all on here. Thank you, Betsy, Radiant Sun. So I hope this was encouraging. I said, let me get on here and do this message. Jacqueline. Hey, Jacqueline. I haven't seen you in a while. Felicia. Hey, Melissa. Welcome. Yep. Thank you all for stopping in with me. Uh-oh. Let me see. I hit the wrong button here. Let me see who else. Did I give everybody? Hi, Susan. Did I give everyone a shout out? I think I did. Dwayne, where have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. Now, I hope all is well with you. I haven't seen you in a while. I thought about you the other day. I said I haven't seen Dwayne in a while. I pray all is well with you, my brother. Oh, that's good to hear. But I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all enjoyed the message. And let me see who else is here. I think I got everyone. But yeah, I had to come deliver that message. Yep, chosen by 40. I'm so glad you're blessed and working. That's a blessing. That is a blessing. Let me see. I think I got everybody. Thank you all for coming in, joining me here. Thank you all for joining me. Let me see who else. I think that's it. And I'm so glad I came in. I had to do this message. I was going to do it late. I was going to schedule it like a pre-schedule, but when I have the messages to talk about, I have to get them out. I have to get them out. I was like, I can't wait. So, but I hope you all enjoyed the message. And I hope you all enjoyed the message. Thank you, Radiant Sun. And I'll come and talk to you all another time whenever I get another one. But I just had to release that because sometimes I don't need all that holding. I can't carry all that. I need to release it. Encourage someone because I'm sure someone needed it. I know I needed to release it, and I know someone needed to hear it. But you all be blessed. Thank you all for joining me. And next time, y'all have a good night and talk to you all later. Bye-bye.